Trudy. Kids don't do talent night. They want to jam, get down, have fun. That's why I invited my good friend Lou Rawls to stop by. Who's Lou Rawls? Mama, one, you don't know Lou Rawls. Lou the fifth, maybe. Two, kids like to play games. I remember we used to play games on the dump.
Mom, Dad, yes, Benny. I hate to break it to you guys, but you're not invited.
What? Sorry, you two. This party's only for us young folks.
You're not invited either, Sugar Mama.
What are you talking about, girl? Ain't no party like a sugar mama party, cause a sugar mama party don't stop. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let them
Sugar Mama.
burn, burn.
Sugar Mama.
Benny, do you really think we're gonna let you have a party here unsupervised?
No, Dad. You can supervise. Just not where anyone can see. You know, like the attic.
The attic?
We were just trying to help, Penny. Anyway, dinner is ready. And everyone is invited to the table, even you, Penny.
Okay. Hi. Hello. Highway to the danger zone. What same shirt? I didn't wear this shirt yesterday. What are you talking about? We don't need no water. Let them burn. Okay, I need something cute. So. That's a PlayStation 3. Oh. Music, anybody? Anyways, what is the comments? Hey! This isn't the same outfit as yesterday.
Was what we really needed. You said this time would hurt more than it helps, but I couldn't see it. I thought it was the end of a beautiful story. So I left the one I loved at home to be alone. And I tried and found out this one thing is true, that I'm nothing without you.
I do wear the right size. This shirt is the right size.
And I've had a change of heart. I'd rather have bad times with you than good times with someone else. I'd rather be beside
You know what isn't the right size is your attitude. So I would suggest that you take your credit card and check the fuck out. Thank you. Please, just take your whole card and check the fuck out because what? Like, stop being rude. Some of you guys really need to learn some manners. The only manners you learned was getting on all fours and barking like a dog, okay? You have those type of manners. The manners of one that does not want to learn anything whatsoever. So, okay? You run amok. You're stray. Stop. Like, nobody wants that. Like, I don't get why people have to be so rude and fat phobic.
that I'm nothing without you. I know better now. I've had a change of heart.
I don't have a speech impediment. Thank you. Why do people need to be rude? And here's the thing that I want to address since it's out there. So some stupid idiot had the nerve to reply to what I said in the comments and being like, it wasn't in the system that you got a voucher because you denied it. No, you dumbass. It's supposed to be in the system that I got a voucher. even if it was denied, dummy. That's not how that works. Even I know that. Like, people need to stop being idiotic as fuck. And then telling me that they know literally about housing programs and they know for a fact that I have to get a job. No, I don't. You don't know the housing programs in New Mexico. Okay, Pikachu know everything. Pikachu know it all. You know, like what Gabriel Iglesias says. You think you know everything. Okay, I guess you're a know-it-all. 21 questions. You the 21 questions ball? Why do people think they know it all? They're like, oh, well, you need to get a job because the housing programs require you to get a job. Then why would I apply to a housing program that requires me to get a job, dummy? I know what the requirements were because I signed up for the program. Like, hello? Like, some of you guys really don't have it up here. And then you say, oh, she's intellectually challenged. Or, oh, it's obviously clear that she doesn't really know. Like, she has a learning disability. Like, the way that you say it is like, if I'm stupid, I'm not stupid. Oh, and then Astro Trippy had the nerve to say that my mom's not getting housing because of me. She's the only one that qualifies for housing, so I didn't stop her from getting housing. You turn around, you talk about how you're going to report me for report us for threatening you. So you're calling Adult Protective Services because someone threatened to report your account? It's not that serious. Then you say, I'm going to stop talking about those people, like if you ate. And then you said, Tophia and Marie. After you said those people and then you named me, like, mic drop. Okay, you got me there, bro. I'm so scared. Like, you literally called Adult Protective Services. Right? Because my mom said she was going to report your account. Then you want to go on and brag about how you know someone at the shelter that can get her, that can make her homeless. Then in the comment sections, when people are calling you out, telling you why do you want to make someone homeless, or why do you want to cause someone to be homeless, you say consequences of their actions. What consequences of the actions? Reporting your account and getting it taken down? I don't do that. If my mom said that, then I don't have control over what she said. But you're making someone homeless because they're going to report your account? You know what you're doing is wrong. If you're afraid of losing your account, you need to get off social media and reevaluate your life. Making someone homeless because they're going to report your account is insane work. You're cuckoo clock. You cuckoo in the head. You need some help. It's never that serious. Then you proceed to say how are you going to call Adult Protective Services and at the same time try to cause that person to be homeless? I will show them your videos of you harassing us. Do you think that they're going to side with you? Especially that I bought my mom a phone charger and I'm the one that's been ordering her groceries, and I also bought her some laundry soap. You know, because I've been taking care of my mom while she's in the shelter. Something that because I have all the receipts that I've been taking care of my mom. You can't call Adult Protective Services and lie on me. I've got receipted proof. And I've got proof I've been talking to my mom. I even called the shelter when she didn't respond because her phone was dead and broken. Her phone was broken. She had to get it fixed. Because, you know, see, and I also got mad at the shelter when they yelled at her And then my mom advised me not to do that again because she was afraid they would kick her out for that because of retaliation. Something you don't know nothing about because you think that I don't care about my mom. I've been taking care of my mom, Ash. Maybe you should go take care of that big ass forehead and get some surgery to get reduction to remove that forehead because your head's getting so big it's about to explode. Maybe instead of worrying about me, you should worry about yourself. Okay? Because you're starting to look a little crazy. Okay? You're starting to look a little cuckoo. Cuckoo clock. It looks like you need to be in a straitjacket. Okay? Because nobody is going to talk shit on my mom and think that they're going to get away with it. I will defend my mom at any cost. I'm not one of those people that's going to sit here and lie and say that I'm not taking care of my mother and I'm not doing what needs to get done. What needs to get done is you shutting the fuck up and actually going and getting a real job instead of talking about people. Because talking about people and not talking about true crime is not a real job for you. And I would advise you not to quit. Okay? You thought you did your big one by saying you're not going to make any more videos on us? Sure, pal. Sure. You're responding to people in your comment sections and liking comments of people being absolutely disgusting and fatphobic. Now, I don't know if it's not racism, but it is borderline calling me an animal when they're referring to me and my mom as rabid. I'm black. I'm not a rabid dog. I ain't no animal. You may be rabid, but I'm not rabid. Every time you talk about me, it looks like you foaming at the mouth. So the only rabid person here is you, not me. That's projection in of itself. So I think you should worry about getting your shots. Okay? You're weird. And then you liked the comment, which I addressed in that video. She liked the comment saying that it's funny she's using my situation as content. So me going through a violent crime, me getting constantly harassed is content. No one's life that is going through something traumatic is content or funny. I don't find anybody's trauma funny. There's nothing funny about someone having trauma and having major depression and PTSD as funny, considering the fact that I literally am paranoid. There's nothing funny about that. You may think people's real lives is funny because you're making money off of people's real lives, but it's not funny till it happens to you, until someone's making a video about you. Now I can see why you're friends with Nicole Arbor, because birds of a feather flock together. You two are a match made in heaven. No wonder why you don't even talk about your own friend that you literally tagged in videos that used to abuse her husband. I get it. God forbid you talk about your friend and her drama. You won't even do that. You're weird. You're a weirdo. And you need to hit the road, Jack. Okay? Don't you come back. God, thank God you're not making any videos on me anymore. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Thank God. Because why? My mom told me this. You were advised by a caseworker. I don't know who the heck. I don't know what caseworker. I don't know what my mom's talking about. Because you're provoking. First of all, you got caught in your lies. That's why you're making no more videos. Because your lies are going to catch up with you. If you make more videos, people are going to see you for the liar that you are. Trust me, the truth always comes out. When people keep running their mouth long enough, you see who they are in real time, 24K, right? These people talk long enough and then people start to see the true them. That's why she's not making any more videos, because she doesn't want it to get caught up in her web of lies. You literally come on this app talking shit about me. You've spread misinformation. You defended a dude that literally paid someone to try to solicit nudes off of me, which would have been revenge porn had they had posted it. And nobody actually gives a fuck that I was blackmailed for nudes. Like, that's a thing to do. from a content creator who calls himself a T page. He's a little man, okay? He got mad and tried to blackmail me for nudes because I called him a hump D reject. I'm so and tried to blackmail me for nudes because I called him a hump D reject. I'm sorry. You wear the hat well, okay? Not well, because it's probably musty. You used to wear that hat all the time. Coming online. Like, bruh. Get your life together. It's not that serious. I called you a hump D reject and now you mad at the world. You see, the difference when I hear me against the world is a difference when you hear me against the world. Because you be in the corner with your legs bent up listening to me against the world because you mad at the world. We get it, okay? We get you mad at the world, but calm down, Bulldog. It's not that serious. Calm down, bruh. You don't need to go grab your crew of chihuahuas, okay? It's not that serious. Leave the ankle biters at home, okay? It's like these people literally go out of their way to spread misinformation on me because they're mad at something I said. It's not that serious. And then you tell all the internet Ash, back on Ash, because we don't need to address Humpty Reject anymore. What's done is done. But you come on the internet making it seem like as someone's threatening your life. My mom's not physically threatening you. I'm just saying. You're trying to elicit violence on an elderly woman that has health problems. You know what you're doing when you go online and you lie and try to make it seem like my mom's physically threatening you. If you are that scared of someone saying they're going to report your account, then you need to get offline. It is not that serious. Oh my God, I'm so scared that she's going to report my account. I had to call Adult Protective Services. I'm so scared. It's never that serious, bruh. Get a life. And then you continue. You know what's gonna happen if you continue? Because my family gets death threats every day. I'm gonna have to report you to the authorities. And not my authorities, the authorities where you live, if you continue to keep harassing and threatening to cause my mom to be homeless. Because you really want to see where we can go with that. Two can play that game. I don't do this big tough guy threatening stuff over the internet. I don't threaten people like that. I'm not one of those people that endangers people. I do things the legal way. If you want to continue, continue. You just left a whole slew of proof. Not only that police, whatever you shared from that incident, already got you in trouble. Please. It's not that serious. You continue, and I'm going to have to take matters in my own hands and contact your local authorities, okay? It won't be that hard to find you and call your local police. Quit. Leave my mom alone because nobody's going to mess with my mom. You come on this app talking shit about my mother, telling my mother how she needs to get away from me because I'm not helping her when you don't know lickety squat. Where's your mother? Huh? Maybe you should worry about how your mother's doing. Don't worry about other people's parents. Worry about yours. Where's your mother, huh? Sounds like she's non-existent. You're mad because someone has a mother that defends them. Maybe your mother didn't want you. Maybe that's why you're mad. Oh, is that why you're mad? Because your mom didn't want you? She abandoned you? That's what it's giving. It's giving jealous. That's what it's giving. Are you a doorstep baby? I mean, and that's not in no way, shape, or form trying to be mean. That's just saying the truth. Like, if people don't like the truth, they can kick rocks. That girl is literally threatening to cause my mom to be homeless, and then sits here and calls Adult Protective Services while actively threatening my mother. Like, you're going online acting as if my mom is threatening your life. I don't do the reporting the accounts. I've already said there's no point in reporting someone's account for their opinions. What they say is what they say. But you've been spreading misinformation for too long. You have been liking nasty comments in your comment sections of someone calling me rabid like I'm some animal, and then proceeded to like a comment where they were being fat phobic. And then you think it is so funny. What's so funny about having to go through trauma? You've never had to see someone drive away in a car with your dead brother in the car and your mom, as you had to watch her drive away because you're scared as heck and tried to save her before the assailant drove away. You could not last one day in my shoes, Ash. You couldn't even last being me. You literally make jokes, which I don't know if it was you or someone else talking about how I think you liked a comment, or someone made a comment, or you made a comment talking about how they were going to come down to New Mexico and get housing before me. What kind of a fucking joke is that? We got jokes? Because I got jokes, but these jokes you that I say, you ain't going to like. They're going to hurt you. There's nothing okay about making jokes about housing. There's so many homeless people in the streets because the lack of housing, it's not even funny. To literally say, well, I'm going to come here and get housing before you get housing. I would like to see you try, because housing is backed up by 4 years. They're not taking new people. You are an utter joke by saying that. There's nothing funny. And if you didn't say it, there's nothing cool about liking that comment like it's so funny. What's funny? I want to laugh. If someone isn't laughing, then it's not a good joke. We got jokes, okay? We got mad jokes. Okay? But when you're a Larry the Cable Guy, not funny, yeah, it's time that you don't quit your day job. Don't quit your day job. You will never be a comedian. You ain't got the jokes that makes people stand up and laugh. You ain't Robin Williams funny, okay? Nobody's laughing. And if you laughing, you just as stupid for laughing too, because you wouldn't dare walk up to a homeless person in your state and laugh in their face for not having housing. There's nothing funny about that. Walk up to a homeless person and laugh in their face, you wouldn't. Because you know that's fucked up. That's nothing to be joking about. People need to stop shitting on people. You don't know my situation. You don't know what I've been through for years. And why I haven't done what I haven't had housing. It sounds like... It's just crazy. It's crazy. Like, people think I'm just gonna put my name on some lease to get evicted and then have a hard time getting a place because you think it's funny. I would have been repeating the cycle. If me, my mom, and my brother would have got back into a place with my dad, he would have just got off his medication, we would have had major issues, and then here he would have been again evicted from another place. And my dad couldn't put his name on the lease. He can't live with us. He has an eviction. So what would have happened? All three of us would have got a place, but not with him. So who's gonna pay for a place for him to live? He would have had to take his disability and go find himself a place because they won't allow him to live with us. He has $7,000 worth of damage he didn't do. The SWAT team did that, and they're trying to say he owes that. And because he was in jail and didn't show up to the court, they probably sided with the management company. Again, people do not think. I've been trying to take care of my dad for as long as I can. Make sure he's on his medication. Make sure he's okay. Now, I gotta take care of me and my mom because we're all we have. My brother is no longer here. My dad is in the streets. And for people to say that I'm insensitive, I'm not insensitive. I'm not abandoning anybody, but I'm tired. I'm exhausted. How many times do we have to tell him, hey, stay on your medication? How many times do we have to make sure that he's doing what he needs to do? If he really wanted to do what he needed to do for his family, then he would have done it. He's not doing what he needed to do for his family. And enough is enough. There's only so much that I can do to take care of my father. And it would have repeated the cycle and we would have been homeless again. That is illogical, irrational thinking. I know that my mom wanted to be with him. I know that my mom wanted to get a place with him, but I've always told her, Mom, we can't keep doing this. But I tried my best to keep all of us together. I tried my best to get a place for all four of us, even though I did not want to. We can't keep repeating this cycle. People don't understand that it was just going to be a bad situation all over again. My dad will stop taking his medication. Then we will be evicted. Then we'll be out in the streets and we'll be homeless. I'm tired of the cycle. There's only so much I can do. If people don't want to help themselves, then I can't help. I have to help myself. I have to take care of me. I have health problems up the ass. My stress is so bad it's causing me constant headaches. My stress is so bad my body is shutting down. I can't have the stress of worrying about what's one day from the next. I just can't. It was a horrible environment. Especially when he's not on his medication, it is not good at all. Because people think it's funny. People think that it's so funny to record when he snaps at me. That is not funny at all. There was nothing funny. It's not funny when someone's getting beat to the ground. It's definitely not funny when food is getting thrown into the trash because my mom's being accused of poisoning him because his mom poisoned him. There's nothing funny. That's paranoia. That's schizophrenia. People with schizophrenia, that's what it's like living with someone with schizophrenia. You don't know what it was like. When he didn't want my mom to make him coffee because he thought she did something to the coffee, I had to make it. And you know what happened when I had to make it? The same thing happened to me. So then he made it. And then when I got mad that he's wasting food and he's pouring whatever down the drain and he's wasting all this food, I got it. People don't have food to be eating, but you're wasting this food. There's nothing you could tell someone with schizophrenia when they're not on their medication. I had to sit up till 2 o'clock in the morning because he went on some rant to the government because whatever he saw or whatever he needed to say, and he was hollering because he thought he was talking to everyone in America. This is what I had to deal with. He had this stick and he was slamming it on the table. Mind you, he would never hurt or harm us. But here I was sitting up at 2 a.m. I got woken up at 2 a.m. I had to sit there. Finally, you know what was the reasoning for why we were able to go to bed? Because the police showed up to see what was going on and asked if we were okay because someone called and he said everything was fine and then told us we could then go to bed. My brother has gone into a lot of arguments with my dad and left and barely could afford to live on his own because my dad would make him stand there when he's got work just to hear some nonsense. And it's not nonsense to him because his brain is telling him it's real. That 99.99 trillion or 99.99 zillion or whatever he says that people thinks is funny, it's not funny when you live in an environment with someone that has bipolar schizophrenia. You will never know what the trauma is like because you think it's just funny that he thinks in his mind this shit is real. It's not funny. Everyone's all mental health advocates until it comes to someone they really don't care about. Watching someone deteriorate, watching someone just insane stuff. You saw the stuff he was posting on Twitter. Nobody condoned that. What was I supposed to do? You had Space Kitten go on live and ask him about some sex toy, saying, do I have a sex toy? And people think that's funny. That's very inappropriate to be asking someone's parent and think that is totally okay. That's not okay to be doing. And then that video of me being upset and people taking it out of context is so weird. It's so weird. So now you're taking that out of context about that situation. They will never understand unless they go through what I go through. She asked my dad about some sex toy or something, and I was upset, visibly upset. I don't know if I was live or if it was a video. I was live, I'm pretty sure. And people are taking it out of context. That was me being upset because someone who doesn't know me is asking my parents about things about me sexually. Do you know how disgusting that is? I wouldn't go to your parents and say, how often is your daughter having sex? That is really weird. It is uncomfortable, and for people to think that's okay for someone to do, that is absolutely fucked up. Again, it's weird. It's not funny. I would never do that to someone. No, it's not okay. It'll never be okay. All because they wanted to do that. That's not okay. Like, I wouldn't do that to anybody else. I'm already going through a lot enough as it is. And you want to take a video out of context because it makes you go to sleep at night? Because I'm upset over something that made me uncomfortable? Because if I did that to someone else, y'all wouldn't be sitting here saying it's okay. Y'all wouldn't be condoning that. But because it's me, you don't care. The lack of uncaring people is beyond me. I'm not even shocked at this point. It's not surprising. I mean, look at the way the world is. It's so fucked up that I'm not... Crazy. No care whatsoever. It is Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. Do-do-do. Yes, I do. My nose is itchy. But it's just so crazy, the lack of uncaring people. You guys do not know, and I do not need to explain it. My dad is, like, you know, and then you say, oh, well, you abandoned him. You lowered his... If I hear that one more time, I'm not going to give a fuck. Because at this point, it's like talking to a brick wall. You kill your parents, okay? I'm not going to kill my dad. Are you stupid? Man. If you're asking what, that's a stupid comment. I literally explained why his dosage was lowered, because they over medicated him at the VA. If we would have kept him at his dosage and went against the doctor's orders, my dad would have passed away from an overdose from his medication for his bipolar. Are you dumb? That's why his dosage was lowered, because they over medicated him at the VA so much so his stomach was hurting. So then they said that the doctor decided to lower his dosage and said, let that wear off first. He stopped giving him the medication because he was going to die. Do you not understand? Is that hard for people to comprehend? My dad was going to die from an overdose, and you wanted me to contribute to him dying of an overdose. You are dumb. I'm not a liar. Literally look up the VA. There's a lot of lawsuits against the VA. Like, I've heard a lot of stories from veterans. My friend's ex that passed away told me about the VA. I'm not stupid. I don't know if it was him or someone else said their friend went in for throat surgery or for knee surgery and passed away. Look up the VA. They have a lot of lawsuits. They have a lot of lawsuits. The VA does not care about veterans. I know from experience. There's been so many times that my dad has been released from VA's care that he is not well enough to be released, and they say he's well enough to be released, and I know for a fact he's not well enough. They over-medicated him because they didn't want to have to deal with him. My mom said, why didn't you call me? One day she told him, why didn't you call me? It was a whole day that she went without hearing from him. He said they over-medicated him to put him to sleep so they wouldn't have to deal with him. That's what happens in a lot of mental facilities. Mental facilities, like, you know, where people say the psych ward and they make jokes saying, you need to be sent to a psych ward. You wouldn't even want to be sent to a psych ward. They dope you up with so much drugs that you can't even stay awake. You're going to sleep so they don't have to deal with you, because mental people have their brain running a mile a minute. They're not normal people. They're screaming, hollering, and have so much energy that most of the time some of these people can stay up for weeks with no sleep. What do you think some of these people that don't know how to handle people properly do? They over-medicate them so much so that they put them to sleep so they don't have to deal with them. because there's nothing else to do. What are you going to do for someone that is staying up talking to themselves for a whole week? Especially if they're not on the right medication and they're trying to regulate their medication. Just think about it. What are they going to do with someone who is sitting up for a whole week talking to the wall, screaming and hollering? You wouldn't last in some of these people's shoes. And some of these people do it for the money. They don't care about the person. This is literal facts. I wouldn't dare send any of my family members there. Why would I have to shut the F up? It is true. Someone needs to say it because people are thinking it's okay. If I really truly cared about people and I was a frontline worker, I wouldn't be doping people up to fall asleep so I don't have to take care of them. That is uncaring. And then when someone says something, oh, they're mental, they need to be in a psych ward. Like, Ash Too Trippy has called me mental. I'm not mental. You're mental. Don't put a label on me that I'm not. You need to be thrown in a psych ward and see what it's like. That is weird. And then the nurse, she's out again comments are weird. Gateway recovery? Well, there's no such thing as gateway recovery. Recovery for what? I don't need recovery. No, they're not. I have a bra on, dummy. Like, I literally have a bra. It's a very padded bra. It's literally like a red, like, plaid. But yeah, anyways, look at this, like, necklace. It's not little, it's actually the right size. Okay, well, whatever you say, I'm not gonna argue with you. If you think I'm at Gateway Recovery, then so be it. Call them so they can tell you I'm not there. Like, why do you actively dox places? Because I can call that place and tell them if someone says I'm there, call the cops and report them. Because they're harassing me. Like, you guys are not going to learn until you guys face consequences for your actions. Like, I'm not at Gateway Recovery. Why would I need to be there? It's a recovery. I don't need recovery. Like, some of you guys are weird. You're doxing places I'm not at. And then you're actively doxing in the comments, which is against TikTok guidelines. I don't know why TikTok doesn't do anything about the accounts of people doxing. it's against the law to dox somebody, but then it's okay for you to actively do it? Because I could report you to the police for doxing. It's against the law. You think you know where I'm at, but you don't. You have no clue. Like, and then people in the comment section, it is weird. And then people in the comment sections are condoning doxing. So you're saying it's okay to dox people? But how are you advocating for anything when you're condoning doxing? You can't advocate for racism and condone doxing. You, like, you're like literally fighting against these things, but then you're advocating for doxing. But why is it okay for me? Here's the thing, if you say it's okay for me, then it's okay for other people to be doxxed. And that's what people are going to think. Oh, well, they say it's okay for her, so we're going to dox other people. Then people are going to think it's okay for other people. It's okay for you to get doxxed then. If it's okay for me to get doxxed, it's okay for you to get doxxed. You don't think that people are going to do the same thing to you that you do to me? And not my people. My people don't dox people. People will start doxing you because you think it's okay. Then you won't like it, and then you'll be sitting here saying doxing is not okay. Once it starts happening to you, then you're going to sit here and say that it's not okay. She gon' be the one, she gon' fall in love, gonna have some babies. Why would I be at Gateway Center West? That literally makes no sense. Gateway Center West is literally in the middle of nowhere. Baby, there goes my destiny, only is one for me. No, she's not in a recovery center, so I didn't get anything from my brother's friends. We're gonna have some babies. The only money I got was from people that sent to my Cash App and my PayPal. The only money I got was from the cards that they sold. They made these trading cards like Pokemon cards. They were Pokemon trading cards, but they were making cards for the card community. And when my brother passed away, they made these special cards. I have one in a case. But the money from that, which I don't remember how much it was, it went to get things that we needed. Like I got shampoo, I got hygiene stuff. Yeah, I got things that I needed with it, and it wasn't even a lot of money. But the GoFundMe that my brother's friend started, I didn't get any money from that, nor did I get any money from another charity thing. I don't know what it was. It was something that my brother's other friend did for him, and I didn't get any money from that. So it's not like I'm trying to get money. My brother needs to get buried. And here's the thing that I did address in the video because it's so crazy. Astro Trippy sits here and says that we chose the most expensive place to bury my brother. Let me give you the rundown about places that are literally like the place that we chose. Other places will not. It'll cost a lot more. They don't give you a free service. You gotta pay for that. They don't give you a free headstone. You gotta pay for that. Nothing is free. That's extra surcharge. The fact that it's $4,120 and everything is included, that's cheap for what they're offering. The service, the headstone, the burial, all of that, everything that they're offering in that package for $4,120 is cheaper than what I would have had to pay. If I went somewhere else that was more expensive, I would have had to pay a lot more. The fact that you said I chose someplace expensive, I didn't choose someplace expensive. Like, she doesn't know. She went to the most expensive place. No, I didn't. I literally said we went there because my grandma's buried there and my mom wants my brother buried where my grandma's at. We didn't go there because it was the most expensive. I'm not trying to do the most expensive for my brother and go all out. I'm just trying to get him buried. Which seems to be made difficult because you think it's just a joke. It's not funny, Ash. I don't think anything's funny. You don't know me or why I chose to do what I do. If my mom's wishes are for my brother to be buried where his grandmother is at, I am going to fulfill her wishes. That is the least expensive place. That is actually the cheapest one out there. These other places are not as cheap as that one. You want to see the most expensive? That is not that expensive. $4,120 is not a lot of money in today's age. If you think that's expensive, then I don't know what to tell you, because that's not the most expensive. And a lot of these places don't include any of that in the package. It would be a lot more to pay for all of that. And even have them bring the headstone there. And having them to do everything. Yeah. That is cheap in my opinion. If you think $4,120 is a lot, then you got issues. That's not a lot. And then you proceeded to... I just said why I'm burying my brother after cremation. Because my mom's wishes, because it's her son, she wants him buried where his grandmother's buried. Why do I have to keep explaining that? Here's the other thing too. Why are you telling someone to biohazard? It is a literal biohazard to spread someone's ashes. Do you think any of these people are asking the city if it's okay to throw someone's ashes everywhere? No one is getting permission to throw anybody's ashes in the Rio Grande River or wherever they decide to throw someone's ashes. My uncle's ashes were spread at the lake where he fishes. I do not want my brother scattered somewheres. You may want to discard your family member like that, but I'm not discarding my brother like that. My brother is not a person to discard. I'm not discarding my brother all over somewhere because you want to say to do that instead because it's cheap. My brother is not trash. I'm not dumping him like he's some trash and discarding him like he's a nobody. He's a somebody. Okay? Maybe you nobody. He's a somebody. Okay? Maybe you want to discard your family member like that, but I'm not. No, it's not to set them free. That's what some people believe, right? You can believe it's to set them free. Maybe some people don't have the same beliefs you have. It has nothing to do with setting someone free. Because at the end of the day, when you're still thinking about them, you're not supposed to be thinking about them all the time, because that's not setting them free. You could literally dump their ashes and set them free, but you're still thinking about them. And when you're still thinking about them, religious people who believe in, who are really religious, believe that if you're constantly thinking about someone, they're stuck. They're stuck in the in-between. They're not being set free because you're still thinking about them. And you're not going to stop thinking about them because you're grieving. To try to tell someone what to do with their dead relative is crazy. It's not your brother. It's not your son. So why are you trying to tell someone what to do? I don't care. If the money is going to go to bury someone, why do you have a freaking issue of how it should be done because it's cheaper? I don't want to go visit some place where his ashes were scattered. Okay? That's just my preference. I'm gonna go talk to wherever there is no place to scatter his ashes where he would want to be scattered. My brother would not want to be scattered. You don't know what it's like. You don't gotta talk to an urn every day because you don't have your loved one. Because you watch them die in front of you. You have no care and no empathy. No care. No care. Crazy. You expect me to say, okay, goodbye. Crazy. I'm supposed to not care? That's not me. I have memory loss. I said I had a lot to do that day. That's why I forgot his birthday. I didn't purposely forget his birthday. You'd be like, oh, you forgot his birthday. You forgot his birthday. You keep bringing it up. God forbid someone forgets something because of their memory loss. All of a sudden, it's not memory loss. Stop. You don't know what someone's going through. You sit here and shit on people because you think it's okay to shit on people when they're down. It's funny to mess with people mentally because you think it's funny to... It's not funny. We have this record in storage. Baby, I believe again, I had a lot to do that day, and no, I'm not thinking about him every day, because I'm trying not to think about him a lot, because it's not helping my mental, it's not helping my health, it's stressing me out. Yeah, every day I get upset and sad. Who cares? My memory loss does not have a switch where it's like, oh, click. You know, like, you can turn it off and on. That's not how it works. Why are you ridiculing someone? Like I said, and my comment was liked. Okay? When everyone was coming at Paris Jackson for not posting her dad on his birthday, saying she didn't care because she didn't post him, is the same messed up reason you think social media shows that you love somebody, because you don't post about them. You don't have to post about someone to prove that you love somebody. It's weird as fuck. people whip out their cameras, start recording shit, and don't care about the people around them. Like those people that watch that shooter unalive somebody and then has the nerve to yell out their window, stop shooting, and then laugh and drive off instead of calling 911. Innocent lives were lost. And you think that's funny? All because you think social media is real life? That you're supposed to go online and post about someone? You're supposed to literally, social media is your life. You're the type of person to post your meal before you eat it. Take a picture of your meal before you eat it. You're that person that people despise. Like, you have to post every facet of your life on social media is weird. Just because you don't post somebody doesn't mean you don't love them. Hence why she liked my comment, because it's true. You don't have to post about someone to prove that you love somebody. He never wanted to celebrate his birthday. People do not understand that. He never wanted to celebrate his birthday. That's why he never told his kids when his birthday was. The reason his kids found out and knew about his birthday was because of the media. The media is the one who is the reason why his kids found out about his birthday. And we're sitting here having a discourse about whether or not she loves her dad because she didn't post about him on his birthday. That is crazy. It's the same thing with me. Why do I have to post a bunch of posts about someone to prove that I love somebody? And when I post about, oh, she posted this, but she didn't post that much about her. I don't have anything of my brother. I really don't. The only stuff I have is the stuff in storage. My brother, and here's the thing, he didn't want any pictures. He took pictures with other people. We didn't take as much pictures together. I barely had anything. The stuff that I have was the stuff that his friends gave me. His friends sent me those videos. His friends sent me those pictures for the slideshow that was put together for his service. I didn't have really much of anything except some of the stuff that I could go collect from Facebook. Otherwise, that's it. You don't know what it's like to have to wake up. I have survivor's guilt. I should have not survived. It could have been me first. And people would have been celebrating that. People would have been so happy if I passed away. They literally sit here saying the wrong sibling passed away. How do you think that makes someone feel? I've, in the past, I have said some fucked up stuff to people. I ain't gonna lie. But that's no reason for you to be fucked up to me if I wasn't fucked up to you personally. I never said anything fucked up to you personally. To other people, yes. But to you, it gives you no right to be fucked up unprovoked. Your parents didn't raise you to be fucked up to someone. They didn't say, hey, be fucked up for no reason. And now I'm trying not to say anything rude to someone or be fucked up because I don't lack empathy. You may lack empathy, but I don't lack empathy. We're sitting here having this discourse about Perez Hilton and whether or not, he deserves what happens to him because of his karma. First of all, no, nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves that. I know he says some horrible things to people. We can't acknowledge what he said to Britney Spears. We can acknowledge all of that stuff. But that's someone's dad. His 2 children have to see that horrific video online, replayed over and over again, of their dad harming himself. And we think this is just another content creator, just some drama. we've lacked empathy. We lack empathy. We have no remorse whatsoever for anybody. Where's the empathy? You know? And I'm not gonna say that people I know have done fucked up shit. There's some things that I heard that could have made me thank you. I like those glasses, thank you. Like, I could have literally just said, no, you're too messed up, you know. I understand. I'm that person, right? I understand wholeheartedly. I'm not going to be fucked up to someone because they're fucked up to me. I'm trying not to, because then it repeats the cycle. You do the same thing to someone else and they do it back to you, and it's just recycling. It's just going in a circle. And you're just doing the same thing to each other and nothing is getting resolved. Like, I'm learning not to respond negatively to people, but sometimes it's hard because it's messed up. You talk shit about my mom and think I'm supposed to sit here and let you shit on my mom after you just threatened to cause her to be homeless and then turn around and call. Thank you for the gift. Oh my god, it was an alien abduction. I like that gift. Anyways, it's so crazy. You're the same person that is harassing an elderly woman with health problems, then turning around and calling adult protective services saying that I don't take care of my mother. Well, I got loads of videos you're harassing me, and I will show them to them. Yes, and you know what? I am going to say it. I'm going to report that shelter if Adult Protective Services was to show up and let them know how they've been treating my mom and say, your friend, thank you for the gift points, your friend that works at the shelter, because you said you know someone that works there, right, is allowing my mom to get harassed, is allowing my mom to get mistreated there. You're the one who said you knew somebody there, right? So why is my mom being talked to the way she's being talked to? If you care about my mom's well-being, then why haven't you done anything about it? Why haven't you talked to your friend? Because you're having your friend talk to my mom some kind of way? Is that the one who's harassing her? Is that the one who's bullying my mother? Is the person you know from the shelter? Thank you for the galaxy. Is that your friend? The one that's talking to her like she's a nobody? Well, my mom's not a nobody. But you care about her well-being, right? Having the nerve to tell my mom, pack your shit, and treat her so badly to the point that she's calling me, crying, afraid that she's not going to have no place to live because someone's talking to her like that, but you want to care about my mom's well-being while causing her to have her stuff stolen? So now you just told on yourself. So I guess I have to assume that you're the one behind the reason why my mom's shit's getting stolen. Because you're having people at the shelter steal my mom's shit, and you're telling them to do it. You're having a worker harass my mom, and you're telling these people to do it. So you're the reason why my mom's stuff's getting stolen, and she's being treated the way she gets treated. How am I supposed to think otherwise? You said you have connections at the shelter. Why are you doing that, Ash? If you're not doing it, then you shouldn't say stuff. You should say, well, I got people like as if it's like prison mentality. I know a guy in the clink. I know a guy. Like, you're the one who literally came online talking about your friend or whoever it was that you knew at the shelter. That is insane work to literally do that. And then if they lose their job, who do you think they're going to go after? You. Do you think they wanted to be blasted on the internet because you're bragging about how you know people? You just made a whole video. You just gave me the evidence I need to show these people. How you talk about how you have connections. You're the one who made a video saying you talked to my friend, my brother's friend, right? Why are you interviewing people? It's so weird. During a time when I was literally in a violent crime. I had just been through something horrific, and you want to go interview somebody because it's making you money? You're a weirdo. Whose heart she's knocking. There's nothing else I can do to be in his shoes right now. And I'll be wondering who's holding down now. Whose heart she's knocking on. To be in his shoes right now. Can't go. Who's holding on? Whose heart she's knocking on? It's just crazy. You asked me what I think about Candy Brooks. I don't like Candy. You went and told her I was talking about her when I wasn't, to cause drama for no reason. I'm not even talking about that girl. I don't care. She talked to a 16-year-old. Leave it at that. Someone sent me the video. Like, it is so frustrating. Like, please, stop asking about Candy. Stop mentioning Candy. I do not care. It is not funny to be making jokes like, oh, you're dating Candy. Like, that's middle school behavior. You tell someone to grow up, but then you act like children. It's not, it doesn't bother me. I don't care if you say, oh, you know, is this for Candy? Are you dating Candy? No. Like, it doesn't bother me. It's just weird behavior. And you tell people to grow up, but then you act like you're in middle school. I like this cover. Who's holding down on that? Whose heart is she's knocking on? Moving through to be ambitious. You know when you guys make STD jokes, you sound stupid because you said no one would sleep with me, and now all of a sudden I have that, so that must mean people want to sleep with me. Does that literally make any sense? You guys sound stupid sometimes. You don't even think before you type something. First of all, someone doesn't want to sleep with me, and now someone wants to sleep with me. Like... so it's just, I got a lot going on, and you know, like, people don't realize, you know, they think everything's a joke. My life is not a joke, okay? It's not. When I do something, it's for other people, not for myself. First, my mom, and I always say that because people think, oh, she wants to give her money to her crush. I don't even have a crush. I don't even need to explain why I need to do things for other people. I just do. I don't need to put someone's personal business out there. I don't. The reason why is because other people, I see what they're going through, and it does hurt to see that I can't fix that. And I try not to tend to say stuff like that because I do want to know if someone's okay. And I don't want them to be like, oh, well, you know, and then they don't want to tell me because they don't want me to have, I'm not stressed out over any situation whatsoever. But if you're uncaring about your friends, then that's an issue. You shouldn't even have friends. If you don't really care about your friends, my life is not for me. I'm not here to make a living, or not even a living wage, but you know, a stable financial stability is not for me. It's for other people. Because I want to be able to be like, hey, you know, let me do this for you. My mom, of course. Like, when people think that I'm excluding my mom, you're stupid. My mom is first and foremost the person that I want financial stability for. I shouldn't have to go into great detail about anything. When people literally mentioned about the house, and they were like literally like posting memes saying I don't even know, something about the house, I don't even know what the fuck. Literally sitting here posting memes, getting mad because I'm not explaining why I need that amount of money for a house and why I need a bunch of rooms. I don't need to explain to you why I need anything. And then you get mad because I don't tell you? Well, I'm not going to tell you nothing because it's none of your business. You may not care about your friends, but I do. No one really knows, and that's okay. You don't need to know. Okay. Have you called any of your friends to see how they're doing? Have you asked if they're okay? No. You don't. Have you asked if your parents are okay? Have you checked up and called your mom? Some of you guys don't even have contact with your parents talking about how I treat my mother, but how about you? And maybe you did have a toxic parent. Maybe you had a parent that didn't love you, abandoned you, and left you, and you have every right not to contact them. But you have no right to sit here and tell someone about how they treat people. You don't know how I treat people in real life. You've never met me in real life. You don't know anything about me. You think you know because the internet told you. I'm not an uncaring person. I care a lot. I care a lot. And when I say a lot, I care a lot. Okay. You may be uncaring, but I'm not uncaring. Some of you guys lack empathy. Oh, I wasn't going to say that. That is my real dad. What are you talking about? I don't even know my real dad. I do know my real dad. I didn't message someone when they said they needed space. I'm not harassing anybody. I'm not harassing. If you say I'm harassing my friends, then oh well. That's you. Well, I do. Why are you saying I don't have friends? I do have friends, and I don't harass someone when they say, like, what? I'm not even, this is not what it is. Like, you're trying to make something it's not. I have very much contact with my friends, and I don't need to tell anybody anything. Worry about yourself. Some of you don't even have contact with your friends. What are you talking about? It's not obsession. I'm not the one, like, what? And you try to talk about situations you don't know about. You don't know nothing. You think you know, but you don't. You're weird. Just because you don't have contact with me. Simple. It sounds like projection. I'm not gaining weight. This is literally just like my shorts. I'm not gaining weight. And plus, I'm lactose intolerant and I just had a lot of ice cream. And so, I'm bloated. I had too much dairy and I shouldn't have. How to put it together, how to say it all, who I should know every night. It's not a beer belly. I don't drink alcohol. Like, I don't drink, so don't do that. Here's the thing, right? Which is funny. People don't know how to lie properly. So I'm at Gateway Recovery. If I'm at recovery, how would I be able to drink if I'm at recovery? Make that make sense. Now we're being fat phobic. Crazy, right? Sorry, forgot to turn it down. Forgot to turn it down. I got a victory royale today, but I didn't deserve it. Oh, this was dope. So I think someone noticed me on Fortnite because like I landed wrong. I almost died. Like I landed and I thought I was clicking A to like deploy my thing, and I was at 1%, and this person literally didn't kill me. He let me live. So I said, I'm gonna let you live. Like the whole time, because I ran into them, and I was like, I waited, because I was like, if they don't shoot at me, then I know that's them. And they literally didn't, and they didn't kill me. It was crazy. They just let me live. I was like, bruh, you a real one for that. But anyways, that was not what happened. I got a victory royale today. And what happened was that it was me and one other person. I was looking for them. And I was like, where are they at? Where are they at? I couldn't find them. And then it just said victory royale. I think either they died in the storm or they left the match. Which I don't think they left the match, because they wouldn't just leave. Unless they were idle, you know, and they weren't moving because, you know, maybe they got called or something happened. So yeah, anyways, I got awarded a victory royale. I won. I was like, oh man, because I was like, I'm not giving my username, guys. Sorry. No. What does PTSD have to do with shooting games? I literally don't have the TV loud when I'm gaming. I actually have it turned down because when it's loud, it does bother me. And here's the thing with PTSD. You don't choose when you have PTSD. You act like it's a switch that you can just turn off and on. That's not how it works. Like, some of you guys really need to reevaluate yourselves, because literally typing that is crazy so you don't have PTSD. Like, why are you even questioning someone's disability? I don't question you and your problems. because the phone's charging. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the gift coins. For the gifts. And you know what is so crazy is to see people get mad in people's comment sections. Someone put a gif of someone slamming their fist on a table and being like, I wish people would just stop sending them money and slamming their fist. Nobody sent money. The only person that sent me money was someone from Instagram, and they sent me $50. That's that person that people are like, is that really her cousin? Are they really related? Because they said they was my cousin. Like, that's the only person that gave me money. And not, no, actually, that's not the only person that gave me money. And I keep forgetting, sorry, I forgot. Thank you to whoever sent me money. I was sent money by 2 other people. Someone sent me $10. So, yeah. Anyways, I didn't ask for the money. But to literally sit here and be like, people need to stop sending them money and then putting a gif of someone slamming their fist, I laugh at that because I think it's so funny. Nobody's sending me money. I didn't even ask for that. People sent it to me, and thank you. I'm appreciative. Sorry, you know, I have a lot going on. But why does that bother you? Why are you so bothered by the fact that someone did something nice? I didn't even ask for the money. I'm not even asking for money. So to say that people need to stop sending money, what money? I would love to know who's sending me money because no one's sending me nothing. Well, someone, I'm not saying no, I shouldn't say no one. 3 people have sent me something. That is it. That is all. Only 3 people. The money that I've been getting has been for my cameos because people have been requesting cameos. Other than that, I don't receive any money except from TikTok and Cameo. And mind you, I haven't been getting a lot of cameos. I get like a random cameo here and there. I get a request that says, you have a cameo, and then I fulfill it, or I try to fulfill it before time is up. Sometimes my memory loss, and then I try to re-request and see if they re-request for a cameo. And I apologize if I don't get to them. It's my memory loss, and I'm sorry, but I have a lot going on because I'm busy all the week. My downtime is like Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The rest of that I'm busy, like where I have some time. I still have to do something for the most part on Tuesday and Friday. Other than that, after I do what I do, then I have some time. First of all, Risa, you don't even know shit, so why are you talking? What are you talking about excuses? I literally said no one sent me money. If no one's sending me money, why are you saying excuses? That's not an excuse. You don't know shit. I don't know what you're talking about excuses. You must be on some whole other planet talking about some whole other topic. Thank you for the gift points. Are you there? Because it doesn't seem like you're all there. Like, have you been listening to anything I said? What does me saying I have not received any money have anything to do with excuses? Why are people trying to tell people what to do with their money that they worked hard for? That's weird behavior. Why are you pocket watching somebody else? Why are you pocket watching somebody else? Sober up. Well, why are you telling me to sober up? I'm not drinking. I'm very much sober. I don't drink. Thank you for the gifts. If I had a quinceañera, it would probably be purple. You know, my family couldn't afford that, so my mom was upset because she said she was sad because she told me, she's like, she was sad I never had one because we couldn't afford it. And I said, I understand. Like, my family was very poor. We couldn't afford a quinceañera. My family was broke. We were eating beans every day. That's why I don't like pinto beans. We ate pinto beans every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Imagine having to eat beans every day because that's all you have. Like, a bag of beans was like $3. So that's why we ate beans a lot, because a bag of beans was like $3. And then it was a luxury. If we were able to afford hamburger meat, then we had meat, beans, and cheese. When we had the luxury to afford the meat and cheese. Otherwise, it was just beans and cheese. Because you can get some pretty cheap, sharp cheddar cheese. But yeah, you know what I mean? And that literally, nobody said anything about whether or not it's Mexican or Spanish. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that's what we ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because we couldn't afford to eat. That has nothing to. Why is Mexican or Spanish even being mentioned about that? I did not mention Mexican or Spanish. I said pinto beans. What does that have anything to do with what you just said? I literally said we were so poor that that's what we ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What does what you said have anything to do with the conversation? Spanish is a language, by the way. Like, because I don't know. For me, I have a hard time understanding things, so I'm not too sure. I don't want to say anything that people will be, and it's not something very offensive, but someone said, why are you when someone says I'm Spanish, so you're calling yourself a language. Spanish is a language. Latino, Mexican, and Hispanic. But yeah, my mom, anyways, back to the quinceañera. Yeah, my mom was upset. We couldn't afford it, so. Hey, and I understood. And she always wanted me to have one, but I've been to one. One of my family members, they threw a quinceañera. I've been to one, but I just, we couldn't afford it. was not fortunate enough to be rich. Because I'm not. What? Okay, whatever. I can't read the comments because they're going too fast. And I think I'm getting sleepy, so I'm probably gonna get off because my eyes are starting to, you know. I'll play this song. Since you've been away, try to understand the reason you left me. What are you going through? Trump doesn't give handouts, Rissa. Even you know that. Trump is not giving any handouts. What handouts? You said you believe I can do better. I am doing better. What handouts? I'm not getting any handouts. Living in a shelter is not a handout. Living in a shelter is not a handout. I'm living in a shelter because I can't afford to live. That's not a handout. And living in a shelter because I can't afford to live is not because I choose to not have a job. You go get a job, okay? The place that I'm at, I cannot get a job. I don't know how many times I explained that. Second of all, if I was to get a job, I would still be living in a shelter having a job because I can't afford to live. Having a job does not ensure you can afford to live. It's very expensive to live here. The rent is being raised. The old apartments where we were at, we were paying $810. The new management came in. Anybody that comes in after the new management would have had to pay $1,000. The rent went up. It was no longer $810. It went up to $900 to $1,000. If you think you know, you don't know. It's expensive to live. The only way you can live is if you're living with a roommate or living with someone. I'm not roommating with someone I don't know. Go to Facebook Marketplace and type in room for rent on Facebook Marketplace. You'll see people renting rooms out of their houses. Do you think those people can afford to live? Because if they did, they wouldn't be renting a room. They're renting a room just cause? No, they don't rent a room just cause. Easy. Nobody rents a room for fun. It's not excuses. Tell me where having a job makes you a living wage. Please someone explain. If that's the case, then you should own a house by now. you're making money and you don't own a house, then that must mean you're blowing your money. You're not doing the right things with money. You're mismanaging your money if you haven't bought a house by now. Why are you not living in a house? Every time I'm with someone, you know what? I wanna feel you in my arms again. 'Cause no one will loves me like you do. I'm tired, guys. Seriously, I'm getting sleepy.
Now that's smart. Smart deals, low prices. That's smart.
What friend? No friend said I tried to get them to go out every weekend. What friend? My friend doesn't talk on the internet. Now I know you lying. I have one friend. I do have a friend. I have friends, not one friend. Who's this? No one in the world's gonna hold me. No one in the world's... What carnival? Like you do, baby. Every time I'm with someone. Going back to your arms again. You know I'm in the world. My friend does not use Facebook. What friends? That's right. You were with me. And the words gonna hold me. I don't even know my friend like that. Well, I do. My friend wouldn't respond to anyone on social media. So I do know my friend. That's how I know you're lying. My friend does not respond to people on social media. You lying. No, they don't. If you're talking about the one with the transportation, we're not talking. I don't know if you know that, but we're not even having any conversations. I haven't even talked to them. They're literally in jail. I don't know if they're still in jail. Like, for me, I'm not talking bad about people. If that's who you're talking about, I didn't get them to go out every weekend. My other friend does not respond to people on social media. So if it's not them, then it's not anybody. My friend doesn't respond to people on social media, I know. No, they don't. You're lying. Okay, whatever you say. So, yeah. There's no lady with light brown hair. In this world, in this world, I'm not Mexican. What? I don't know what lady with light brown hair you're talking about. I don't have a friend with light brown hair. So, yeah. I don't know anybody with light brown hair. So, it's crazy because you say I have friends and then you say I don't have friends. You contradict yourself. Do I have friends or do I not have friends? Like, I never tried to get anyone to go anywhere over the weekend. You can't lie properly. If you're talking about the blonde girl, we are not friends. I don't know her really well like that. We just had a Valentine's Day party. That was it. If that's who you're talking about, like, I don't know that person that well. We don't hang out all the time. We're not friends. If that's who you're talking about, we don't hang out all the time. No, I'm just saying, I'm not talking badly about someone. I'm just saying that I don't know that person that well. That I don't know them well enough to say, hey, this is my friend. We just only took a picture because we were at a they had a Valentine's Day party. That was it. So whoever else you're talking about, I don't know. And obviously that person has blonde hair. They don't have brown hair. No, you're obsessed with people. I'm not obsessed. There is no such thing as a drinking party. What are you talking about? There was none of that there. Nobody there drinks. I don't drink. No, I don't want an RV. I was a victim of a violent crime. What makes you think I want to live in the streets? There's violence. Why would I want to live in an RV after what happened to me? I did try to get an RV when my brother was alive. I don't feel safe living in an RV. I'm not going to have to find somewhere to park every night or park in a place where I have to pay rent to live in an RV and hook up. I don't want to do that. That is not safe. Why would I want to do that? I'm already paranoid as it is. You want me to go do that again? No, thank you. RVs are expensive. They're not cheap. It depends if you get one that is that. It depends if you get one that doesn't need to be fixed up. RVs are not cheap; they're expensive. If you get a fixer-upper, then cool. You can get one that has amenities, but then you gotta fix it yourself. I would have to get one where I can't wash clothes because the washer and dryer doesn't work. I would have to get that fixed. Where the shower isn't working and where we can't cook, because then I would have had to fix it up. And it costs more money to fix it up than it did buying it. And I'm not gonna buy a project that I can't afford. Fixing up an RV is very expensive, and if the RV breaks down, I don't have money to put a part in the RV because RV parts are expensive, more expensive than a car part because it's an RV. No, that's not what I was going to do.
This is a meal. Saucy chicken ramen. Stacked spicy steak. For just $7.99 each. Let's also
Unless it was someone that I knew that wanted to stay with me and my mom in an RV, then of course, maybe, but then again, I don't even want to do that. I just don't, it's not that I'm scared, it's just a scary thought. I'm literally not gonna subject myself to an RV. With all the crime that is going on and all the gun violence, no thank you. Do you know? Look up the crime in Albuquerque. The crime in Albuquerque is high. They just got video footage. I don't know if they released the actual footage, but they have the video footage of that 19-year-old boy that was unalived in a road rage. The guy brake checked him and then flipped a U-turn and unalived this 19-year-old boy. Mind you, I saw the body. We were going that way because we were going to the park to eat our food because we had gotten McDonald's. And I looked over because it was blocked off. And I saw the police and I said, oh, well, maybe they're arresting the person because the car door was open and the car was in the middle of the road. It was blocked off. It was caution tape. So I thought maybe it was a police chase or something happened and they searched the car. But when I looked over, I saw a body lying in the road with a sheet over it. And then when I heard about what happened, crime is high. I don't want to live out there. It's not safe to live in the street. And that's very stupid to tell someone to go live in an RV. Gas prices are high. Imagine the amount of gas I would have to put in that to literally put a full tank and run it. While people need to stop suggesting ideas that don't work and then saying that I'm making excuses. I didn't ask for ideas on how to live. If I wanted your unsolicited advice, I would ask for it. I didn't ask for any advice, so why are you just throwing something out there no one asked for? That's not a suggestion. That's giving unsolicited advice nobody asked for. I'm not gonna be on the streets because I'm not gonna cause myself to be on the streets. I'll be on the streets because I caused myself to. I'm not gonna cause myself to be on the streets. Who said anything about living in a house is cheaper? We were living in a house paying $2,000 a month in bills. I've already lived in a house. I lived in a house twice. I know what the expenses costs are for a house. You act like I'm stupid. I lived in a house. I've lived in an apartment before. I know how much shit costs. I'm not dumb. I don't need a job to live in a house. You do not understand. If someone is guaranteed rent through housing, they don't care as long as they're getting paid. People love housing programs because they're insured their rent. I don't know what more I need to explain to you about not having a job. I cannot work. I'm in a place where I cannot work. If I go to work, then I'm going to have to find a place to live, and I can't afford a place to live. I'm not trying to put myself in the street because you want me to. The only way I'll be in the street is if I put myself there. If I cause myself to be in the street. You can say whatever the fuck you want, but it ain't gonna be the way you want it to be. You're sitting here telling me that I have to get a job. No housing program that I went through said that I had to get a job. Someone was like, oh, that's only temporary. No, the program that I applied for is not temporary housing. The housing program that I signed up for is not temporary, and you do not need a job. Why do I need to explain that to people? I don't need to explain that to people. Didn't I not say you get what you pay for? Because I was only going to have to pay $50 a month in rent. Because that's probably all I could afford. Like, some people literally have a hard time hearing. If I'm only having to pay $50 a month, does that tell you I need a job? No. Because if I would have had a job, then that would have mean I would have had to pay more. And self-employment is a job. Social media is a job. When you say I need a job, no, I don't, because I could say my social media is my job. But I don't make enough to sustain living. They're going to see that I don't make enough and make enough to make a financial living. So what are we doing? You don't know about these housing programs. You think you know. Yes, there are housing programs for people with no income. I wouldn't be applying to something I don't qualify for. That would be stupid. I'm not wasting my time for a housing program that is not going to help me. Someone advised me to sign up for this housing program. I did. But I told them, because they said to sign up, and I said, well, look, I don't have an income. I have no income whatsoever. They said it's for people with no income. That's why I applied. I'm not applying to something blindly and hoping that I qualify. Because if I qualify for the program, then that would mean I would have to go to work. I don't have to go to work. Like, some of you guys really need to use your brain, your noggin, and really think. Yeah, there's literally, actually, from what I was told, there's literally housing programs for some people. I'm not even gonna say for like, well, I have disabilities, but I don't get disability. So, but there are some programs that will pay people's housing for life. But here's the issue that people fail to realize. When Trump came into office, a lot of the funding for these programs were cut. So a lot of places couldn't help me with housing because the funding for these housing programs got cut because of Trump. Because Trump thinks these are unnecessary spending. So these are unnecessary spending cuts. So that's why they're cutting them. That's why they're called spending cuts, because they're cutting unnecessary spending. Why are you cutting things that help people for their housing? At the time, I was trying to get help with these programs, which now they're back. They got funding for housing. They're not, now they're able to help people. But these programs will pay for your housing for life. The thing is at the time when the government shut down, a lot of these programs had their funding cut. So they couldn't help anyone with housing because it was cut. That is Trump's doing. This is what people voted for. People are struggling to receive housing help now because you chose to vote for someone who thinks it's unnecessary spending. Yes, there are programs that will pay for your rent for life, and you don't need a job. I'm a victim of a violent crime. I qualify. All I have to do is I just tell them my story, and that's it. And it's not because I feel entitled. I have disabilities. I have major depression and PTSD. I have disabilities. It's not just sitting here and saying I deserve something for nothing and feeling entitled. That is not what I'm doing. You may think that. Thank you for the gift points, but I'm not. Thank you for the gift coins. That is far from it. Like, I'm telling you guys, there are programs to help people. I was advised, but a lot of these programs said they couldn't really help me, and they apologized because the funding was cut. And then once they were able to, I didn't qualify because of whatever, I don't know if I said it, but yeah. Thanks to Trump, a lot of people have a hard time receiving housing. Thank you for the gift points. It's not easy as people think it is. And there are places out there that will pay for my rent for life. It's just that it's a lot harder since Trump cut funding. Now they're behind. Like, housing is behind for years. They're not accepting new applications for housing. I'm not trying to get on Section 8 because it doesn't make sense. There's no point to apply for Section 8 only for them to tell you that you can afford to live. We tried to get back on Section 8. Section 8 told us, because my dad was trying to get on Section 8 to help them pay some of the rent. They told me I needed to go to work or go to school. That's fine. But then I said, no, there's no point because they're going to say we make too much money. I said, with my brother's job and your disability and my job, they're going to say we make enough to afford to live. There's no point to go applying for a program that we're not going to qualify for anyways. I'll get a job, and my dad will have his disability, and my brother will still be working, and they'll say combined we make enough to afford the rent, because the rent's only like $810, and amongst us we would be making well over that combined with our incomes. And I was like, there's no point in applying for this program, but my dad wanted to because all of his check was going to rent. My brother was working, but he told him that he could save, he didn't have to pay rent. That's what he told him and his ex. Mind you, I was making money online, but it, like, the money I made, sometimes my dad would ask me, hey, can you, and it wasn't even cheap. It was $400 for a website that he didn't even use. It was things like that. Like, I became Bank of America. But back to what I was saying, yeah, there are programs that pay for life. Like, it's not, they will help you. They will help you pay. And it's not a lie because they can look into the situation. It was all over the news. I was a victim of a violent crime. For people to say I was not a victim is crazy. It has nothing to do with feeling entitled or saying, hey, you need to give me a house because I deserve it. I don't go to these places telling them I deserve a house, I want a house. I go to these programs and accept whatever they offer. If they want to give me an apartment, I'm not going to tell them, no, I don't want an apartment, I want a house. That's not how that works. I literally have been polite. I literally go and do what I'm supposed to do, and then it doesn't work out. So I tried the next solution to get housing. People think that I think I'm entitled to free stuff. Housing is not providing free entitlement to anyone. To sit here and tell people they don't deserve basic human rights is crazy. Housing is a basic human right, just like eating food is a basic human right. And you're telling someone that they need to be stripped of their basic human rights. Is that not crazy? I was not. What do you mean I was a witness? Are you stupid? A witness is someone that stood there and witnessed something. He tried to rip me out of the window. Just because I didn't get hurt as badly as my mom or my brother, thank God, does not mean I'm not a victim. I'm a victim of a violent crime. That's why CVRC helped me. Duh. I was not a witness. Well, actually, I'm a victim and a witness. Yes, I am a victim and a witness because I witnessed the crime that I was in. Like, you guys try to find any way to say I'm not a victim. CVRC is the Crime Victims Unit. They don't help non-victims. That's why they're called crime victims. That's what CVRC is, for crime victims, not for non-victims. Thank you for the gift. The gifts. I didn't run away. I'm not a witness. I'm a witness and a victim. What are you talking about? He literally... I'm not even going to argue with you. CVRC helped me because I'm a victim. They don't put you in a hotel room with a fake name for no reason. If I was a witness, I wasn't in witness protection. Witness protection is changing your whole identity and relocating you. I would have had to move out of the state because I know someone's going to try to say witness protection. Witness protection is for those that are in danger for their witness to a crime and they could possibly be unalived because they're a witness to a very dangerous crime. In my case, the guy's not living. Because I know someone's going to try to say witness protection. That's not witness protection because the guy's not alive. I was a witness and a victim. He tried to pull me out of the window. He smashed my window. My window was smashed. Glass was all over me. Glass was inside my bra. What are you talking about? I was trying to fight this guy off from starting the car and taking it. If I was a witness, then why am I fighting the attacker? You don't fight an attacker if you're a witness to something. A witness is someone just standing there watching something go on and calling the police and letting them know they're a witness. It's not making me mad that you're saying I'm a witness. You're just saying I'm a witness because you think it's making me mad. I'm calm. I'm not even mad at all. I'm just tired and drowsy. And I'm going to get off soon because I need to go get my sleep. My mom is okay. She was shot in the face. That's what happened. My mom is fine. Yeah. The guy I didn't even know. I didn't even know that. Okay, everything's happening so fast. You have to remember, sometimes in some situations, it seems like time is moving slow. In this situation, it was moving fast. All I know is I heard pop, pop, right? That was the moment my brother was murdered. I heard my brother being murdered and thought it was fireworks because people had posted online that they hope my car blows up. And so I thought they were trying to scare me to make me think the car blew up. I was asleep. People don't understand. I was woken out of a sleep. So I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. And the only thing I see is someone that is going around the car trying to get in. Well, not trying to get in, but just like going around the car. So I thought maybe, because my brother sleeps with his mouth open. So I thought maybe my brother was hoping that they leave, that he was just trying not to engage, that he was just ignoring them. Because we've had homeless people come up to the car and he said, no, thank you, because they ask for something and then they just leave. That my thought process was it was a troll. That's where my mind went, because I had reposted a threat that night. Mind you, someone said that something about I need to be taken out of this world, and then that happens. I had literally posted someone saying that I needed to be taken out of this world. Not too long before the carjacking happened, we were under the parking garage, sleeping. My brother stopped at his friend's, and then we went and parked up. I usually stay up because I wanted to play on my Switch. So I was like, oh, I'm going to play on my Switch, but then I'm like, no, I need to get some sleep because I always stay up late. I don't get any sleep. I wish I would have stayed awake. I really wish I could have prevented that, but I couldn't. There was nothing I probably could have done to prevent that. But this guy, I heard pop pop. So my initial reaction was someone's trying to mess with me like they did before. Because they pulled up to the SUV and slapped a bunch of sticky notes and banged on the SUV. That scared the crap out of me. And they thought that was funny, but they didn't notice my brother was behind him and my brother chased him down. So to me, I thought my brother was just ignoring the person because, one, now that I'm thinking about it again, I didn't think it was a homeless person because, like, we've had homeless people come to the car, but because I was getting threats, I thought maybe it was someone from social media that was trying to mess with us, and he just didn't want to engage because he was tired. We were chasing down this van, and we had a really weird experience. I have a video on my phone. It's hard to tell the car, but yes, we've had like several incidences, a few that yeah. So there was this van, right? We were in the library parking lot and this van was doing donuts. Or no, it pulled in and it pulled up like it was gonna ram us and then took off. My brother turned on his car and started chasing this car. We're chasing the car down. We get to, there's a church right across. So when we get to the area by the park where the church is, the van had drove all the way around and went to the library side and started doing donuts in the library. So my brother went and tried to catch them at the library. By that time, they were already taking off. It was a game of cat and mouse. These people drove away, mind you, it continued till 1 o'clock in the morning, and we chased them up Montgomery and San Mateo. And so we're driving up Montgomery and San Mateo, and they turned off and they were gone. My brother lost them, couldn't find them. He was trying to get a license plate to report them to the police. They were gone. He reported it to the police anyways because, there's cameras. Maybe, hopefully, they can see somebody. Whatever. That happened. That's not the first time someone tried to ram us. We were parked in, like, this little, like, roundabout. It was like a little park area roundabout close to where he worked, because my brother worked at the airport. And this car, it was like a Mini Cooper. It was a very small car, turned and faced us like it was going to ram the car. We were sleeping in the car. My mom was sleeping in the front seat. My brother was sleeping in the back, because my brother said, "Do you want to sleep in the front seat? It's better. It was better for my mom to sleep in the front seat." So he offered her the front seat. I was watching the new Haunted Mansion. I remember I was on my phone. I was watching the new Haunted Mansion. I see the headlights of this car coming towards us to ram us. Turned real quick before it rammed us and sped off. And I said, "Did you see that?" I said, "Someone tried to ram us." I was freaking out, because here I am sleeping in a car trying to survive, and you think that it's funny to pretend to play chicken. Like, you could have seriously injured my mom. You could have hurt my mom. My mom has osteoporosis. If her bones break, it's harder for her to rebuild her strength in her bones. This is not just some stuff. And I wasn't even on social media at the time. That was at the time that I was not on social media for a month. I wasn't going live in the car. I wasn't doing anything. Yes, I was posting videos here and there and posting stuff on my stories, but I was not as active. And people want to say get off social media. That's what was happening at the time, and I didn't say anything. You know, I did say that someone tried to ram me. I did tell this story before. Someone tried to ram us, and we were sleeping in the car. And this is not the first time it's happened. And that was not the first time someone did a donut in the library parking lot and tried to ram us. There was 2 occasions. There was one person that we were sleeping. Next thing we know, we hear screeching, and someone's doing donuts in the library parking lot and took off while we're trying to sleep, as if to wake us up from sleeping. That's a fucked up thing to do to somebody. It is so fucked up, the things that I've had to go through, because people say I should endure it because I'm on social media. Someone that I had just met, he was witnessing the stuff that I had to go through. I would be live and someone would just drive by and be honking and say some stuff. And he was like, "Wow, I really see just how fucked up it was." So, when the carjacking happened, I was woken up from my sleep. I heard 2 pops. I thought maybe they were trying to scare us with some fireworks. I thought maybe my brother was ignoring them and they would go away. My brother tends to sleep with his mouth open, so I didn't think anything abnormal. I get back under the covers to go back to sleep, because at that point I'm still half asleep. You have to remember, I just woke up from a sleep. So my thought was, I'm gonna go back to sleep. Then my mom said, "Something's happening, Tophia, something's happening. She's freaking out." I said, "No." Then I'm alert now. I'm awake, because I'm like, she's like, "Something's happening." So now that alerted me, and I'm awake. At that point, I throw the covers off me, and I see this guy. He's angry. He's just trying to get into the car. When I looked over, when I first took the blanket off and I looked over and I see this guy, that's when I saw my brother was missing an eye. At that point, I knew he was dead, because he wouldn't let this guy do this. So I'm freaking out. My brother's dead, and this guy is angry trying to get into the car. Both windows were busted out. I didn't know he shot my mom in the face. I didn't know she was shot in the face. I didn't look back to see my mom, because I was freaking out. This guy's trying to come in the car. So then he came to my side, smashed my window in, and at that point, when he smashed my window in, my thought was like, oh, he smashed my mom's window in, because what happened was he tried to pull me out of the window, and he couldn't pull me out of the window because I was using my weight to hold me down. Then he went to my mom's window and tried to rip her out of the window, and he couldn't do that. So at that point, that's when I thought, oh, he must have punched her window in too, because he just reached in her window and tried to pull her out, and her window was not rolled down. We don't roll down the windows. It was cold. We had the key in the ignition to turn on the heat in case we got cold. He jumped through the driver's window and he sat on my brother dead, and he tried to start the car, and I'm fighting him as best as I can, but because I had just woken up, I was not strong enough to fight someone off. I just woke up, and I didn't have anything around me, any weapons, to fight this guy off. So I'm fighting him the best way that I can by using my arms and like trying to push him away from the keys to at least maybe snatch the keys, do something, but I couldn't. I was not strong enough. So I said, get out, get out. But my mom's hard of hearing. She couldn't hear. I snatched my phone and I jump out. I don't jump out of the car. I get out of the car and I rush to go to my mom's side to help assist her to escape the car, but I was not fast enough because by the time I got out of the car, he's already flying down. He took off with the door open. He didn't even close, like, obviously his thought process is jacking the car. He's not going to think to close the door. Here I am trying to save my mom, and he takes off. At that point, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. At that point, yes, I did have a thought, like, the police wasn't going to show up right away. But before then, my mind was not all there because everything happened at once. So here I am. It's like, 1 a.m., 4 a.m., I don't know. It's not even, the sun's not even up. It's dark. There's nobody, and I'm screaming down the street, help, somebody help, call 911, help, help, and I'm screaming, I'm freaking out, and all I remember saying is, he's dead, oh my god. Just like, even in the video, after I called the police, and I made that Insta story after I called the police, and that's when I said, oh my god, he killed my brother, he shot my brother, and he took off with my mom. Oh my god, my brother's dead, he's dead. And the fact that people posted that online for me to relive that is crazy. And I have to hear that every time I come across it. And it's triggering and traumatizing. And people say that I had something to do with that. I didn't even know what was going on. He ditched an SUV in the park. He was running from police for whatever reason, I don't know. He was running from police, and he came upon our car after he ditched the SUV in the park. And he did that. And then for people to say, well, you posted that Insta story first, you didn't call the police. No, I called the police, and then I made the story because I didn't know what to do. I'm freaking out. I'm alone. It's nighttime. There's nobody there. I don't remember if it was, because I might be misremembering because, I think there was a guy that walked by with his backpack, but I'm not sure. He didn't stop because, some people, but I don't really remember. That could be from my memory loss. But from what I do remember, I was freaking out. Like, I was in shock. Like, you have to remember, I'm in a carjacking. Something just happened. My brother was murdered. I'm in shock. My brain, thank you for the gift points. My brain is not like all there because I just witnessed my brother be murdered. I heard the shots when he murdered my brother. At that point, I was freaking out. The police show up. They showed up right away, which was crazy. I was like, they were here quick. And when they took off, I could hear ambulances. And that's when I freaked out even more because I said, oh my god. My thought was like, my mom's not alive. He killed my mom. What are you gonna think? You don't know what's going on. You just hear ambulances and you just don't know. you don't know. And so they left me. They left me there. I walked towards the bus stop because I just like walked away for a little bit. They left me, which I don't even know if that was the right thing to do. I'm a victim of a violent crime and you just left me out in the open. Something could have happened to me and I'm freaking out. I could have freaked out and walked all the way off. It could have, like, and then they would have had to try to find where I was. Like, I was freaking out. So I walked to the bus stop and I'm like, let me walk back because they said they're coming back. They came back for me. They put me in the cop car. They drove me to the crime, the scene. All I see is the car is crashed. It's wrecked. The door is open. I see clothes scattered everywhere. I see the trunk is busted open. Thank you for the gift points. I don't know what is going on. I have no information. No nothing. The whole time I was in the back of a cop car for an hour before a chaplain comes and says sorry for your loss. And I said, oh my God. I was thinking in my head, oh my God. So I told him, so are they both dead? And he said, I can't tell you that. The police have to tell you. So I said, oh great. Now I don't know if my mom and my brother are dead. So here I am. When he says sorry for your loss, I just broke down. I was crying uncontrollably. Like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to think? On top of that, I contacted my brother's ex, right, to let her know that the person she so-called claimed she was in love with, right? Thank you for the gift points. Was murdered, and the only thing, the audacity, the thing that she actually had to say to me was, what do you want me to do about it? And I think I texted her. I don't think I called her. I think I texted her and told her that my brother was murdered, and she said, or called her, I can't even remember. I called her, texted her, and she said, what do you want me to do about it? No remorse. No remorse. You have no emotion, no feeling towards someone that you claim you love that died. If I was in love with someone, if I was madly in love with someone, truly in love with someone, and the thought of them, like, you can't even imagine the people in my life, right? Like my friends, just the thought of them no longer being here devastates me. I'm one of those people, and we've all had those thoughts, like where we have I don't know what it was called, but where you have thoughts of someone that is here when you not constantly, but when you think about them passing away and them no longer being here. I cannot live at that point. I like the fact of someone that I'm madly in love with passing away and having to think that thought, and it's hard. One day we're all not going to be here, and that's something that I have. That's why I try to cherish the moments I have with my mom, because she is old, and my friends, when I can do things with them, because it's just like, I want to spend as much time as I can with you, because I know one day, like my friend is dead, right? The one that I talk about that died. And for me, I wish I would have gotten more time with her, but I didn't. And that kills me inside. I can't, I don't know. It's a lot. It was a lot to deal with. It was very traumatic. And then having to go see the internet and see people say that I was a part of a crime and that I'm the reason why my brother is dead didn't even help me at all. Because here I am having to process what happened and wishing that I stayed awake. That I never went to sleep. I could have saved my brother. These are the things that really affects me. And that violent crime had nothing to do with a job. He didn't murder my brother because I didn't have a job. That's the dumbest thing to ever hear the internet say. That my mom got shot in the face because I didn't have a job. That my brother died because I didn't have a job. Do you see how stupid that sounds? Like violent crimes happen every day. Gun violence is very high. When people say that they need to abolish and take all guns away, that's not the issue. Okay? People have a right to bear arms. It's the Second Amendment. Or the right to carry, to bear arms. The issue is when you prevent people from getting guns, they're just going to get it illegally like they've always been. It has nothing to do with guns. It has everything to do with people illegally obtaining guns. They're going to obtain guns. It's not about taking away the guns from people because they're going to find a way to get a gun anyways. It's people with mental health issues that are obtaining these guns they're not supposed to have. The amount of mass shootings and gun violence, thank you for the galaxy. The amount of mass shootings and gun violence that has happened since my brother has passed away is crazy. 261 mass shootings this year. And you want to talk to me about having no job? You need to be hitting the streets and talking about how gun violence is bad. How they need to have stricter gun laws. That's what you need to be doing. Why are you blaming me for a horrible system that allows criminals to get back out into the streets and obtain guns? Because he wasn't a repeat offender. He had a record before he did what he did to my brother, and you're praising a man that had a record. You're literally sitting here, some of you have made accounts saying how whoever he is, because I don't know if that is him, the Albuquerque Journal posted it, but we didn't get no name of who it was or nothing. And mind you, my memory, a lot has happened, so all I remember was he was bald, he had blue plaid shirt on, and a wife beater shirt, or I shouldn't say that, the shirt. They call it a wife beater. But anyways, it's a muscle shirt. It was like a white muscle shirt. Anyways, I don't know why people call it that. I don't even know why they would name the shirt that. But anyways, I think it was white or black. I can't even remember, but I know it was a tank top. I know he had a plaid shirt on. I know he was bald, and I know he was angry. I could tell because he didn't say anything. He didn't make any demands. He didn't say, give me money. He didn't say anything. He was just running off of adrenaline. And you had, obviously, because he's running from the police, so obviously he's on adrenaline. The police are chasing him. His adrenaline is high. And people literally saying that my brother deserved to die is crazy. Saying justice for Peter Garcia, if he's the one who did it, we didn't get the name of the guy who did it. And, when I see the picture of the guy that you say, that because they posted his name in the Albuquerque Journal, when I see him, I just don't remember what the guy looks like, and it just hurts because it's just thank God the guy isn't alive to hurt anyone else. I would not wish death on someone, but his intent was to go harm more people, and people don't understand that. He crashed into a Jeep. there was another person that was a part of this whole incident that didn't deserve, he could have been murdered. He now has to see, right? And here's the thing, that guy saw my brother dead. Imagine the trauma that that guy has to go through, because he could have been the next victim, wondering if he was next. He doesn't know the intent that the guy had. He doesn't know his intent. You know? But what was the intent? You know, he could have been next. He doesn't know that. I don't know that either. I don't know, because I wasn't there when he crashed into the Jeep. All I know is that guy has trauma. Obviously, if you were in a wreck, if you wrecked into someone that had just murdered somebody, you're gonna have trauma. Hello? When you're in something, a wreck, that's traumatic. A car accident is traumatic. Especially getting smashed head on by a car that is speeding. And the crazy thing about it is that, yes, because my phone is charging. The crazy thing about it is that people was mad that I didn't get injured way more than I should have. Oh, you're not a victim because you didn't get injured as bad. If I had stayed in the car and he would have took off with the car and I was in there and I would have got injured when he crashed, you know what would have happened? I wouldn't have been able to take care of my mom. I wouldn't have been able to help her because I would have also been injured. Who knows? I could have died in that car wreck. I don't know. If he would have crashed, I could have died. But anyways, like, it's not very traumatic to talk about it because I've been talking about this, and I'm going to talk about it many times more because there's going to be people that comes into my life that wants that I'm going to have to tell them, you know, my situation. It's not, it is kind of hurtful because it's hard to navigate social media when you have people blaming you for something that is totally out of your control. How do you explain to the elementary school kids that did not make it from a school shooting to their parents and look them in the face and tell them that it was their fault because they didn't have a job? Like, these things, it's just crazy. You know, gun violence happens every day and they need to do something about stricter gun laws. Anybody can get a gun, especially if you have mental health issues. All you have to do is just go get a gun. It's easy to obtain. They don't do any background checks. They don't do anything unless if, like, they say, you know, if you're a felon, of course, obviously. But other than that, they really don't care. They'll sell guns to anybody that doesn't have a record. That has nothing to do with a job. But anyways, I'm gonna take this makeup off and do some things before I go to bed because it's 1:18. But have a good day or night where you guys are. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, gifting, watching, and joining the fan club. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go get some sleep. But have a good day or night where you guys are. I'll see you guys later. Alright guys, good night. Stay safe. I'm tired and I'm gonna go to bed. Wow, using the N-word. Crazy. Good night. Bye.